Hi, I'm John Mathews. I'm submitting to the Bear Gryll's Fan vs. Wild contest. I'm here to show you how living in the city is comparable to surviving in the wild. Why don't you come with me? So you know how Bear Gryll always enjoys parachuting into his various adventures. We have something similar. It's called driving on the freeway. Get out of the way! I'm trying to merge! So, much like how Bear Gryll is always finding fresh water in the wild to survive, something that's comparable in the city is trying to find free parking. Now, much like how you could drink salt water if you really needed to, in the long run, it's not going to be good for you. The same with parking. You could pay for parking, but in the long run, it's not going to be good for your pocketbook. So I'm going to show you a few of the ways to find free parking when you're in Los Angeles. Avoid the most popular stores. Look for the stores that most people aren't aware of, second-rate stores. You're always going to find more parking there because people aren't going to be there. You also want to look for the residential neighborhoods. Usually if you head a block in on parking spots, you can find some of the best parking around without paying a single dime. You know, they don't even need all that confusing language. They should just put a picture up of a giant middle finger. Much like in the wild how there are dangerous creatures, here in the city we have our own dangerous creatures. Some of them include street musicians. There's actually one behind me. I'm not going to get too close, but just like a wild bear or boar, they can appear at any moment demanding tips for their music. Much how Bear Gryll uses his urine for various things. Warming himself, cooling himself, getting fresh fluids. You can also use your urine in the city environment to get out of various things. Getting out of bad days. Avoiding paying a check. You know what? I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Another creature you find in the city, similar to what you would find in the wild, is the urbanus touristic, the urban tourist. Now, although not dangerous, in large numbers they can deter you from your ultimate goal. They will slow you down, ask you for directions, ultimately deter you in any way they can to get a photograph, thinking you are their own personal photographer. In the wild, you're always looking for protein wherever you can find it. Well, the same thing happens in this city. I'm going to have a large nachos with extra jalapenos, please. Now, you may not always like the taste of what you eat, but you need something to sustain yourself. Oh, this is great right here. So what you have here is we have different graffiti that's been spray painted on this dumpster here, giving you an indication of both the taggers and also some of the gangs in the area. Some of this graffiti looks several weeks, if not several months old, indicating that the gangs probably have a pretty good substantial force in this area. Graffiti hasn't been removed yet. You can really get into the culture of a gang by seeing what kind of tagging they do. It's really a beautiful phenomenon here. So I know in the wild, bear usually will have to, say, climb a large tree in order to get its bearings. Luckily in the city, we all have iPhones, so that's not necessary. It's not necessary to do, because this great tracking device, you can figure out where you are in seconds. Okay, I got it. And with my trusty iPhone, found where we need to shop. Another successful adventure. I'm John Mathews, and this is my submission for Fan vs. Wild.